I'm on a highway to Hell in a Cell.
So then I thought you were going to come in with the drums. And then we need a third person.
Then we need highway to Hell in a Cell. Bow now. Highway to Hell in a Cell. Bow now. What'd you put in there?
Rematch.
Rematch.
A lot of rematches.
Highway to Hell in a Cell. I want a rematch. Highway to Hell in a Cell. Please more rematches. Highway to Hell in a Cell. And going.
The viewership's going down.
For the just cause. This is the Shoot Brothers podcast.
Bam!
Bam!
And I think that's it, folks. That's what you're listening to. This is the show, the one and only Shoot Brothers podcast with myself, Mike, the Shoot Shepherd, and Cameron, the AC/DC Osborne.
Bang!
I forgot. Bon Scott. That's what I was trying to think of.
Cameron the Bon Scott. That's what they call me. Thanks for that, Mike. Yeah. I mean, if you were not able to determine by the intro, it's Hell in a Cell weekend. A weekend which always takes place in the fall, but now it didn't for some reason or something.
The whole schedule just got shifted, and I mean, I'm assuming this means we're not getting a third Hell in a Cell in October. That'd be 3 in 1 year. That'd be too much.
That's too much Cell. That's too much Hell and too much Cell. The big Hell in a Cell pay-per-view was this past weekend. Let's hop into it. But even before we hop into the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, it was announced at like 7:58 on Friday night, 2 minutes prior to the start of SmackDown Live, that Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio's Hell in a Cell match would not take place on the pay-per-view and would instead happen on a free live television. And guess what? On SmackDown, we got a Hell in a Cell match. Okay, folks, it's Friday night. It's time for SmackDown Live. It used to be on Tuesday, but then I think it was on Friday before, though. No, wait. They used to film it on a Thursday and then release it. It's just SmackDown Live.
Yeah, so we talked about this beforehand. I was a little skeptical. I thought, maybe they're going to do something sketchy to, throw out, someone interferes or fucks up the match. But, hey, they gave it to us.
And I mean, I was gonna say anything can happen on in professional wrestling, and that was exactly it. The rest of the show didn't really matter much.
The only thing there was
beat King Corbin, and
for the crown. It was official battle for the crown.
Right. It was official battle for the crown. What a stip!
He sat on the throne after, and Boogs put the crown on him. But
Boogs
we're hoping
is looking better every week.
Yeah, hopefully we can still get a tournament out of this, though. The King of the Ring.
Yeah, and there was a lot of...
There's only 3 matches on the show, so...
Really? Well, I mean, I thought most of it was occupied with Roman and just Roman Uso backstage kind of shit.
Yeah, and it was weird, because Jimmy was kind of, pretty on Roman's side this week. It wasn't really... It was Jay was the one who wasn't there. He's just like, hey, man, I haven't seen him. But, yeah, Jimmy was just kind of hanging out with Roman the whole time.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Maybe he's finally gotten to that moment where he can acknowledge him. They announced a bunch of matches throughout the rest of SmackDown that we're going to be getting Sami Zayn and whatever his name is, Kevin Owens. There was a sit-down interview where we find out that Seth Rollins is taking on Cesaro again.
Yeah.
On Sunday, but that's all behind us because it's main event time in the Thunderdome. Rey Mysterio makes his way to the ring for the main event, a shot at the Universal Championship, taking on Roman Reigns inside the pay-per-view's namesake. Of course, Rey Mysterio is he's currently fueled by his hatred for Roman's because of his assault on Little Dominic.
Yeah, who's like a foot bigger. But Hell in a Cell, the first ever on SmackDown, only the second ever, not on pay-per-view.
And they did not shut up about that.
No, exactly. In case, I don't even think I have to tell you, but in case you missed it.
In case you missed that one.
So I mean, the only reason we can think of that I mean, that was a big match going into the pay-per-view, possible main event of the pay-per-view, so I guess they just wanted to have a big rating here or do something. I don't know, but
no idea.
We got the match. Yeah, I'm sure it was pretty much going to go down the same as what we got here. So, the chairs, the fire extinguishers, the toolbox to the head. It's all Mysterio using weapons early on. Wraps a chair around Roman's head, starts slamming him into the cage. Tables get set up in the corner. And eventually Ray hits a 619, puts the chair on Reigns, hits a frog splash on top of it, then climbs up, goes for another frog splash. So that was his big 2 count of the match. But then Ray just gets a hold of him, power bombs him over the top of the ropes to the floor like he did at Dominic. And then he just picks Ray up and locks in the standing version of the guillotine. And that Ray taps out to that, so Roman retains.
Taps out immediately. Happy Father's Day, Ray. Tapping out.
I think that's what Roman said, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
So, Ray taps. Jimmy Uso comes out, celebrates with the big dog, and acknowledges him. He raises his hand. And then Roman locks in that guillotine once again, and then just holds up the title. Yeah, happy Father's Day.
We'll never know why it wasn't on Hell in a Cell on the actual pay-per-view. The match was great, except just like commercial breaks, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, they added those 2 matches, but the only reason they added them was because they took away this match. So it's like, I don't know. And then I think during the show as well, they're like, Bianca Belair comes out and she's like, well, I want you in the Hell in a Cell now, Bailey. So damn. Because we have to have 2 per show.
Yeah, because we're still going to get our 2 Cell matches. Either way. Yeah, weird call for SmackDown, but hey, maybe that's part of the surprising part, right? You hear about that at 7:58. I watched live because I heard that it would be pushed until that night. I'm like, yeah, I had nothing else to do. I think I was eating a late dinner anyways. I was kind of just, lounging around, cleaning the house. It's like, fuck yeah, I'll watch a Hell in a Cell match.
Check it out. Why not?
Exactly. But enough selling in Helen on a SmackDown. Let's move over to the actual main event, or the actual show itself, because 2 days later from the exact same building, they didn't have to move the cell this time.
They probably just raised it right back up and
put
left
it right
there.
back and turned the lights off, came back a couple days later, turned the lights back on, because it is time for Hell in a Cell.
Review.
Yeah. There was an unannounced pre-show match.
Love it. Love unannounced kickoff shows that I'm not going to watch anyways.
No, well, you didn't miss much of anything. Natalya, Mandy Rose. Natalya gets the win. But Mandy showed off a couple cool moves here and there, but, wasn't her night.
Wasn't her night. One half of the SmackDown Women's Tag getting the win. It's weird. And maybe not. Why not 2 of them? I wonder.
I mean, yeah, that's what you could have just made this a tag title match, but I guess that they're going to stretch that out.
Or if you're going to have them go one-on-one, have Mandy go over to, build momentum. Right?
Yeah.
This was just...
Well, now they're going to have Dana beat Tamina to even it out, and then they'll do that 2 more times, and then we'll get a tag match, not for the titles, 2 more times.
Yeah, Mike.
And then they'll finally go for the title.
You should teach a course at a college or a community college or something called wrestling math. Yeah. Be like, hey, so if opponent A and opponent B meet on this day, then you can book it using a math equation of pluses and negatives. But yeah, that was the pre-show, like you said. Looking onto the main stuff. We actually kick off the show with the first Hell in a Cell match for that SmackDown Women's Championship. Bianca Belair taking on Bayley, almost solidifying that Drew and Bobby Lashley would have the main event at the end of the night.
Yeah, and right before that, they did a special little intro too. Kind of like the Warriors with the silhouette. The woman was speaking into the microphone thing. Just kind of cool little intro.
I may have missed that. I may have sped past that.
That's okay.
Okay.
It was just a nice little touch. But anyways, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Hell in a Cell, SmackDown Women's Championship. I think we know what to expect here. Lots of steel chairs. Bianca swinging her hair around like a nunchuck. But then Bayley was just tying her to everything. You know, like at one point she ties her to the ropes. But then Bianca uses that to her advantage and just trips Bayley down face first onto some steel steps. And then she pulls out the Darth Maul style, the double kendo stick taped together.
Yeah.
Which,
Total episode one
yeah.
vibes.
Because remember, I think in the cell match against Sasha, she tried to make that on the fly when she pulled out the tape and it wasn't going so well. And
oh, did she? Yeah,
prepared.
maybe you're right. Yeah, that was at last year's Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
God, way to go fucking Bayley. God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so she sets those little sticks up on the cage and the ring, and but she's the one who ends up getting slammed right through them. Spinebuster by Bianca. And then just more hair tying, ties her to a chair. So Belair just says, you know what, you want to use my hair? Let's do it. And she just ties her to Bayley's arm. So now it's like a strap match going on here. Inside the cell. So yeah, Bayley's got nowhere to run, and eventually we get the ladder brought into the ring, and Bayley wedges Bianca in the middle of it, hits her with the rose plant, but she takes a bit too long to make the cover, so Bianca kicks out at 2. And then she has her big comeback. She lays Bayley on the ladder, does a big senton onto her. Then she opens the ladder up and just like places it horizontally, but still opened up, and then picks up Bayley, hits a big kiss of death right on top of the ladder. Looked vicious. And of course, that's going to get you the 3 count. So Bianca retains. Good match.
Great match.
Great match.
Great match. Considering what this was built on. I think if you were to have like
they might not have even known it was going to be in the cell.
Yeah, I wonder that too. I mean, who knows? There is flat out a chance that Friday they fucking made that decision. Imagine having 2 days notice. Especially for someone like Bianca Belair, who just came to the fucking main roster. You know, you get your push, you're the champion, and now you have to be in a cell match. And all based on not liking Bayley's laugh? Like, in terms of story going into outputted, like, product output, this was my biggest margin. Like, it was a great match that I was so not excited or so not caring about. You know?
Yeah, the story, the build to it wasn't that special.
And Sasha's coming back. Sasha's coming back in a couple weeks.
Yeah, looking forward to that as well. She'll have a big SummerSlam match. Maybe
she's
even a rematch against Belair.
Apparently she's advertised for like a show that they have in July, like a SmackDown show.
Well, there you go. Couple
like
weeks away.
Like a show in Houston or something like that, and her and Edge are on the fucking the poster. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, that's cool. Sweet. And so was this match. So yeah, good job.
Great job. Next up on the card, though. Next up on the card, we have another one of those repeat. God, did we get? Is this our third pay-per-view in a row of this?
Yeah, this was like Backlash. There was a lot of. Well, yeah, a lot of these matches on this card were, if not repeats from WrestleMania, then repeats from Backlash or the other. But yeah, a lot of repeats.
Bizarre. Anyways, that match that we're getting is Seth Rollins taking on Cesaro.
Yeah, we know what to expect. 2 of the top premier performers in this business. But just pick up where they left off. At one point, Cesaro takes Rollins' glove. I don't know, Seth glove. Was he even wearing these? He took his gloves off at some point. I don't know. But
I thought it was just one glove. He wears 2 gloves?
Yeah, I don't know. There was one glove, but somehow Cesaro gets it. And he perfectly kicks it in the crowd. And then Pat McAfee, he says, he kicks it like it's the Euros. Congratulations to the Swiss for getting a dub. And just Pat McAfee was on fire all night. I was loving his lines he was dropping.
He's on fire.
Yeah. Cesaro hits the big swing. He's looking to lock the sharpshooter in, but Seth counters it, gets a quick roll up, and just like that, 3 count. Rollins wins.
The most devastating move in sports entertainment.
I mean, yeah, anytime, anywhere, anybody. We've seen legends and champions get Hall of Famers all get beaten with a roll-up.
Yeah, it's if you're an aspiring wrestler out there, you want to get into it, you want to learn. I mean, I couldn't tell you a single thing about that they could teach you at wrestling school, but I think the thing I could teach you, roll up.
Yeah. It's like learning an ollie on skateboard.
Yeah, it's the first thing you gotta learn. Okay, this is how you do a surprise roll up. It's the very first lesson. Cesaro lost, and I feel like that's because it's like a live crowd goes nuts for the Cesaro singles push. Like at Mania. He gets the win, the crowd's stoked. But in front of those little video screens, you can't really recreate the natural Cesaro push. The cheering that he gets.
Yeah, and I think, unfortunately, his push is going to be back down a little bit for now. He's not going to be going for a Universal title shot again anytime soon.
No.
Which, I'd love him to. But, hey, at least hopefully keep him relevant. Maybe go after Apollo Crews, that IC title.
Yeah, keep him relevant. He's super babyface. He's super over. So
yeah, crowds are going to love him when he comes back.
Yeah, we were saying that actually not too long ago. Yeah, like the next challenger for the IC title over there. So who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Could be him. Moving on through the card. Next up, we have the. I guess I anticipated. It's certainly anticipated. Match between Alexa Bliss and Shayna Baszler. Shayna, is hoping to exorcise the demon in Alexa
Literally.
Bliss. Literally. From the opening bell, she goes at it.
Yeah, and whatever's inside Alexa, she's moving around different. She's crawling like a spider. She's using these mind control techniques. Reggie's aware of it, so he has to cover up. He shields his eyes to stop the gaze, but then... So at one point, I don't even know if commentary mentioned it, but this is what I got out of it.
Okay.
So,
yes.
Alexa, we've seen her use, her double jointedness in her elbow, how it, hyperextends.
There was one, I remember, we all remember whatever it was, and I think she actually got a surprise roll-up to retain.
Yeah, off of that. Because everyone was like, oh, fuck.
So everyone was like, oh, my God, and the camera zoomed in.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So there's one part where, Baszler has her grabbed, and then Alexa does that with her arm, and then she, looks into Baszler's eyes, and then Baszler's like, oh, and let's go. So it's almost like she transferred the hyperextension pain into Baszler's arm, but commentary didn't mention it, so I have to.
Okay.
It's such a weird little thing.
Okay, can't say.
But that's where the
can't say that I noticed that. I can't say.
She transferred. Yeah, it was just such a weird, but I think that's where they're going with it. So that's what they're gonna, because that's what they can get away with in front of crowds. You can fake mind control like this. I mean, not that anyone believes it, but you can do it. But
you can always fake mind control.
Yeah. So anyways, Bliss starts kicking her around, and then she catches Nia in the hypnotizing glance. So she lifts up her arm, and Nia mirrors it. And Reggie's right beside her, trying to snap her out of it. And then Bliss swings her arm to the right, which causes Nia to do the slam and slap Reggie right in the face. And then they both just let out this primal roar. A beast, almost like Roman about to spear someone, but scarier. But then Baszler comes behind her with the Kirifuda clutch. Alexa escapes that, strikes her right in the throat, and then hits her modified Sister Abigail DDT, followed by the Twisted Bliss to get the win. So, mind control.
So that was it. I guess mind control is it.
I mean, there's no denying that's what it is at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This one was just weird. I think this is weird.
I mean, yeah. If it was
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was it's just
an M. Night Shyamalan movie where she gave them PCP and LSD backstage. So they're
Alexa Bliss is super invested. So it's great. That is helping the quality of the angle for me. But
yeah, no, the voodoo, I mean, in this day and age, no one's going to buy into it, but...
It's like a Papa Shango. That's haven't we done that before?
But I mean, sometimes things, though, sometimes if things are so campy, they can almost get over ironically, so who knows?
Yeah, I wonder, because it is that fine line between creative and, like, third-rate science fiction movie. You know, like, it is a very...
Like Matt Hardy transforming and teleporting and stuff. People are okay with that.
Yeah, people are okay with it, I guess, if it works. I guess, you know, and Shayna Baszler is just the human sacrifice, you know, just kind of... It's the devaluing of someone who was supposed to be, like, the most badass, dominant woman. Coming out of NXT, at least, you know, that's who she was. And didn't she bite Becky Lynch when she was pregnant? I mean, like, that's...
Well, I don't think when she was...
well, you know...
Before she was pregnant. But.
Well, their little baby... Becky's going to have to explain that scar in the back of her neck one day to the new baby. Yeah, it's just weird that happened to Shayna. I miss Lily.
Yeah. You miss Lily?
I miss Lily.
Oh, well, I mean... Yeah.
Yeah, she's not coming back.
See, she might be out of timeout.
Yeah.
She might get out of timeout.
Yeah. Who knows? But
anyways,
yeah, that was a tough one for me.
Well, let's try to put some aloe vera on that burn.
Let's brighten up that spirit. Let's brighten up that spirit. Yeah. So in our third rematch of the past two pay-per-views. Next on our lineup, we have Kevin Owens taking on Sami Zayn with not a single Paul brother in sight.
No, but one thing I forgot to mention in the SmackDown recap was at some point Kevin Owens took a couple vicious Nigerian nails from Commander Aziz.
Oh yes, right. He was choking the whole time, and he comes out. He is still apparently reeling
He's
from
coughing.
the Nigerian nail. Yeah. He's coughing.
He might have a crushed larynx.
I mean, that's what Michael Cole said, so...
Did he?
I gotta believe him.
But, yeah, so that was the story of the whole match. He's just coughing, and Sammy's targeting the throat. And, you know, for the rest of it, we get the standard stuff from then, which is always high quality. Sami gets a little lip blood at some point. I don't know. Busted open his mouth. And then Owens hits him with a stunner on the floor. But Sami gets back in the ring just in time to beat the 10 count. And then he just keeps going after that throat. Eventually gets the haluva kick to get the win. So these two. I don't know what the series score is, but they're probably pretty close.
Yeah, I wonder if a nerd out there has made a kind of like a career long, if not like just WWE, but even, you know, NXT and before that. Like, what are they in one-on-one matches? What are they in multi-man matches?
Yeah, someone out there's got the info.
Yeah, shit, we need a match. Kevin, Sami, can you guys... they probably have this catalog. They're like, you know that spot we did in 06?
Where I damaged your throat on the guardrail when you can just do that match where you sell the throat.
We were at that high school in Moncton. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that spot. And they're like, okay, great. They have such a well to pull from.
Well... Let's pull from this next match here.
Ooh, good segue. Good segue. I like that one.
We've got Rhea Ripley defending her Raw Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair.
In our fourth repeat.
Yeah. And I have a feeling it might happen again. I don't know why, but we'll see. You know, for the most part, this match was pretty good. One thing of the Thunderdome era I notice is Rhea Ripley screeching. She just sounds like a banshee sometimes.
Yeah.
She's in pain.
Yeah,
very shrill.
Yeah.
Not that it's a bad thing. Like, it's good. Sounds like she's in pain. But
very expressive. Yes, of course. I wonder if it has something to do with the Australian accent. You know, because Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, they have a similar kind of squelch.
They do they do.
I wonder maybe like something like, you know, you're not, you know, something to do with the Australian accent just leads.
Because there's so much crazy shit in nature, they got to squawk over all that.
That's what it is. To squawk away the 3-foot spiders.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Charlotte gets Ripley in the figure 4, and then Rhea crawls over to the ropes. Underneath the ropes, they both fall out to the floor. And then Rhea decides to pick up the wooden top part of the table. Just lifts it off the
little piece of plexiglass,
where they write the logo there, and then she just smacks Charlotte in the face, causing a DQ. So what a lame finish, just like that. But you know, we have precedent. We have established you can use the environment as a weapon, but once you remove that thing from its natural habitat and hit your opponent with it, like the steps or the table or anything like that.
So
It's no longer
what you're
allowed.
saying is you're allowed to throw somebody through a table,
Yeah,
but
if she had just
if you move the table to throw into them, that's too much.
yeah,
Okay.
If she had just grabbed Charlotte by the hair and slammed her head first on the table, that's perfect.
That's totally fine because you're not touching the object and making it go into them. You're moving them to the object.
Yeah.
Right? So when you throw them to the table, they're hitting it. The table just happens. You're giving a power bomb. The table just happens to be there. But in this case, what Rhea Ripley did was malicious. It was too far, if you ask me. I believe that's too far in professional wrestling. You shouldn't be throwing things at your opponents for no reason. You're not in a championship match. Come on, Rhea.
She broke the rules.
I mean, I'm saying this because I believe I'm supposed to be sympathetic towards her, right?
Yeah, this was. I would have thought.
I'm not sure. I think I'm supposed to feel like Rhea Ripley should get a rematch to really prove she can beat Charlotte, right?
I know it's like, but the roles should be reversed. It seems like this would be something Charlotte would do to retain the belt more than Rhea. So I don't know.
Very bizarre. Yeah, at least that's like the feeling I think I was supposed to get. The match was fine though. Like these two are like two of the better. Two of the stronger, better performers here in WWE.
Yeah. No, I liked everything but the ending.
Yeah,
I mean, you could have even if Charlotte had hit Rhea with the table instead, it would have been better because like, okay, at least Charlotte.
Because at least of course Charlotte would do that, but like,
yeah,
it's almost like it was an accident, and then the ref. I don't know. I do not know.
Yeah. It was a weak
finish,
too.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's too bad
for no reason. But I guess they're like, it's the last time we're in the Thunderdome, but you don't care. There's no crowd here.
Yeah, last pay-per-view. Money in the Bank will be probably a month away. Probably.
Yeah, very much. I mean, we'll get.
I'm so glad we have a full month to book that card. Right, we don't have to like start booking matches right away. We can just chill out. You know what I'm saying? I'm stoked. Let's get to our last rematch here. We are rematching ourselves that WrestleMania match for that WWE Championship. We're talking Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre. This is Drew's last opportunity to challenge Bobby Lashley for this championship, and they did say that. They didn't make that explicitly clear.
Yeah, last chance.
So he can, he could challenge against another champion, but never against Bobby Lashley. Bring in the ladies, the lady train. Bring in MVP with his cane, and let's get this match started.
That's it. We just get the big man brawler style match. Lots of just picking each other up, throwing each other into the cage. Lashley lands like on his head at one point, but he's okay. He's got a big head. And then, MVP on the outside slides his cane into Lashley, so he's hitting him with that. We get the chairs, we get the tables, but the most brutalizing weapon of all ends up being the kendo stick, which Lashley just beats the shit out of Drew with this thing. And I know with these kendo sticks, you can like tighten and loosen them, and I think this thing was on very tight because Drew's back was fucked up. Just bleeding, nasty welts.
Huge welts.
Yeah, it definitely seemed more stiff than the standard kendo. But how about I got a deal? If someone offered you $100 per kendo stick shot to the back, how many would you?
Who's giving the shot?
Bobby Lashley.
With the tightest,
$100 a shot.
With the tightest possible.
Yeah. If you could take a quick 10, that's $1,000 in your pocket. No, it'll hurt though. It'll hurt. I'm not lying. This is a would you rather improv.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say 5 because I know I could do 1. Like that.
No, you know what? You take 6. You go out. You get a PS5 with that $600.
Take that 6. Come up with a PS5. Sell it for more than I bought it for.
Then you go, and then you can spend your money to hit Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, and then I get to spend then I'm spending $2,000 and beat the shit out of him.
Anyways, Drew McIntyre pulls in a chair, but then Lashley shoves him right into the referee, who gets hit in the face, knocked out. So Drew hits the Future Shock DDT, but no ref to make the count. So the man on the outside, referee, he unlocks the cage and comes in. Drew hits the Claymore. The ref counts 1, 2, but then MVP, he snuck in the door as well. He pulls the ref right out of the ring, breaks up the count. But what he doesn't realize is they also locked the door behind him, so he's stuck in there. So Drew gets a hold of him, beats him up, hits the Claymore, but then Lashley comes back in from behind with the Hurt Lock. But then, he backs up, puts Lashley through the table, but then there was another table spot where there was just a table on the floor, and Lashley picks Drew up, slams him down off the apron through the table on the floor, but the camera angle was clearly covering something up, because when they cut back to Drew, you could see these hands from under the ring just pushing out these pieces of the broken table.
Really?
Did you catch that?
I don't think I caught that. Like somebody working under the ring.
Like a stage hand or something. Yeah.
Really?
So it was like he crashed through the table and there was probably a pad underneath, and then they pulled out the pad and pushed out the table. Yeah.
Oh, so they were taking the pad out, so no one could see it.
I feel like that's what they were doing.
Okay,
Take out the pad, and then they had to push the table pieces back. And then, for a second or two, you just see these hands under the ring pushing table pieces out. I'm sure you can find the clip if you want.
Man, I have to. I got to go back and rewatch that now.
Yeah,
Okay.
but anyways, that was right near the end of the match here. So Drew gets up, gets back in the ring, lines up for the Claymore, but MVP grabs him by the foot, which distracts him long enough for Lashley to come in with the number one move in wrestling, the roll up from behind, with the added leverage grabbing the tights. And that gets him the 3 count. Bobby Lashley retains.
On a roll-up in the cell?
Yeah. The Drew, you can never challenge again for Lashley's title.
Well, you know what? To say anything about this match and the whole card in general, chemistry was clearly the theme of this year's Hell in a Cell, because all the matches already happened before, so they were all pretty good already. It was these finishers, my man. There was 4 bad finishes.
Yeah, I could have dealt with 1, maybe 2, but that's too many. Too many roll-ups, DQs on a pay-per-view.
On a pay-per-view. Like, that's really kind of what it is for me. Like, these are, aren't pay-per-views supposed to be the culmination of feuds or, things of that effect, right? Roll-ups are usually the thing that people ask for rematches because they're like, well, it was a roll up. It's I can beat you in a steel cage or something, or I can beat you, I don't know, in a fucking cell. It was too bad because it was a great match, and yeah. And I already gave my RIP to Drew McIntyre shortly after WrestleMania. I think no, it was whenever he lost it. It was like the pay-per-view before WrestleMania, right? No, it was it was never the Miz. Miz cashed in on him. He won, and I gave my kind of condolences to Drew McIntyre and his championship reign.
And then he fought for it like 5 more times.
More times, but in the back of my head, I knew you're not going to get it back, bud. You're not. And I just want to thank Drew again for just everything he did for us in 2020.
Yeah. I sent you the clip real quick if you want to see it. The hands.
Oh, the hands.
Yeah, the hands under
the stage. Okay, geez, we'll pull that. We'll pull that up.
It's from the Thing from Adam's Family.
Oh, you know what? I'll check it out later. It's telling me to log into Twitter. I don't have my Twitter logged in here on my computer. But yeah, I'll check it. I'll check it out later.
Yeah, it's definitely worth. But that was Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that was Hell in a Cell. That was kind of, unfortunately, maybe a few too many, sloppy endings. Kind of putting it behind what was a good show, which had like good wrestling on it.
Yeah, and I mentioned Pat McAfee earlier, but through all the matches he was on, his excitement feels genuine when he's calling a match. Doesn't feel like he's phoning. He's just, he's actually excited for these moves.
Yeah, and I really hope that he will stay when they go on the road. Because I know he's not. I know he's not sure.
Oh, he's not sure?
No, because
that's
he
only a couple weeks away.
he has his like, daily show and his other stuff that he like has to do. Like I think I have a friend who's all up in the world of Pat McAfee. Mm-hmm. But Pat McAfee, has a studio in Miami or something, like somewhere in Florida where it's close to get there. Like it's easy to get there for him. But if they're, up on the East Coast, somewhere on the West, like he has other shit going on right now. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. Maybe they could transition him to NXT, maybe be in that Florida locale.
Yeah, just like, not
permanent
leave.
base.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? But if there's a way to keep him, I hope that we definitely can.
Very much so. Yeah, we have too the influx of commentators is too much, man.
Yeah.
Well, that was fantastic.
He's one of the best.
Yeah, he is one of the best. One of the best in the business right now. He's quickly shooting up the ranks. Of course, there's a Shooty Award for commentary.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely in contention.
He's definitely in contention there. Well, that was fantastic. Let's move on with the show. Let's get to our wrestling week, shall we?
We shall.
We shall. I guess let's start our week by going a little bit back. This is going to be one of those weeks where, of course, we do have a brand new Tweet League champion, but this is one of those weeks where it's kind of pertinent to what's going on.
Oh, okay.
So, as the kind of the show presents itself, and as professional wrestling world unfolds, the tweet of the week, the brand new Tweet League champion will unfold as well. But let's kick off the show with going back in time to some AEW Dynamite.
AEW, All Elite, they coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
Friday night Dynamite, we're talking about the first ever. They've been talking about this for weeks now. The first ever MMA rules cage fight, huh?
Yeah.
And of course, this is 10 o'clock. So yeah, they're going to kick off the show with the big thing.
Yeah. And I'm assuming it's all pre-taped because this thing would have taken a little while to set up and tear down because this was not just a square ring. This was a hexagon.
Wait,
so I'm sure
it wasn't
UFC
an octagon?
owns the octagon.
Oh, they own the rights to that shape? Yeah, that checks out. That checks out.
But yeah, everything else looked the same. You had the shorter cages all around. The mat didn't look as springy underneath.
Just like one solid logo right in the middle.
Yeah. And you had, the pre-fight, they come out, they had the guys checking them, rubbing the Vaseline on their eyebrows and shit.
They did it up. They did it up.
It was, pretty much, if someone was just flipping the channels, they might think this is an actual fight.
They could.
At least for the beginning. Justin Roberts, even the ring announcer, he was kind of doing some Bruce Buffer impressions.
He did his best buff. He tried to do his best buff.
I forget. Yeah, he didn't say it's time, but he said something close. He's like, and now!
Yeah.
It's time. The cage. But, and even Aubrey Edwards, she wasn't wearing the stripes. She had the black on.
She had the all-black thing. See? Like, in terms
everyone was going for it.
Selling it, every single person we saw on camera was trying to sell this as a legitimate fight.
Yeah, so I was hyped. Let's see what happens. So the rules are 3 5-minute rounds. No judges, though. So only can win by submission or knockout or referee stoppage. So I don't know what would happen at the end of the 3 rounds. I guess it's just a tie. But anyways, so we get to it. And, for most of the first round, they were trying to make it look like a fight. Just, lots of strikes and guards and hesitations. Didn't look like a wrestling match at first.
No, it came out with that, the jab, the double leg, the...
Yeah, the takedowns.
I think Wardlow threw in a Superman punch there at one point.
Yeah, off the wall of the cage. He jumps off there. So the second round was more kind of submissions and holds, and started to see a couple of wrestling moves here. I think Wardlow hits a power bomb into the wall and a Hurricane Rana, which I can guarantee we've never seen one of those in the UFC.
Yeah, probably never. It's I don't know if it would be effective, but two big boys, or big boys, and Hurricane Ranas don't go together anyways.
Yeah, so but maybe that was his downfall because Jake Hager is then able to get him in a triangle choke, and Wardlow's unable to escape, but he does not tap out. He just instead lifts up his middle finger as he passes out. So Hager wins by TKO.
Yeah, I guess by referee stoppage, TKO, something like that.
Yeah, whatever you want to call
Whatever
it.
you want to call it.
He calls it a win for Jake Hager, the professional MMA fighter.
Yeah,
semi-pro MMA fighter.
I think after the match, the rest of the inner circle is in there hanging out, partying, or celebrating until the pinnacle the pinnacle comes out.
Yeah, they jump in, and then MJF gets Jericho in an armbar, and then Dean Malenko pulls him off, and then MJF just sucker punches him, the 60-year-old man with Parkinson's disease.
Wow.
Made note of that.
That's some heat.
Yeah, so he's down. Sammy Guevara then runs out, jumps into the cage, but MJF and Wardlow are able to escape. But there's going to be hell to pay.
There's going to be hell to pay. And, this was fun because everybody sold it. And they sold it. Like if you wanted to watch MMA, you would watch UFC or Bellator or any of one of those other fucking things. Like, you would see this and be like, no, this isn't MMA. But, like, it wasn't supposed... It's professional wrestling still.
Yeah, it was a hybrid, and they put enough elements in there.
It was
to
great.
Make it seem...
I thought it was, like, totally fun. I thought it was totally fun. It was entertaining. It was different. It was new. It was a really cool way to kick off a show.
Yeah. Like, we knew it wasn't going to be a shoot fight, but they tried to make it look like, more of a sport.
Yeah, why the hell not? It was just fun to do.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. Then we get Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page taking on Darby Allin in a handicap match because they wanted to prove that he can do this without Sting. So he's in tough here, 2-on-1. But late in the match, he pulls out this zip tie, wraps it around Page's feet, tosses him out of the ring. Then he hits a coffin drop on Scorpio, but Page, while he's tied up, he's still able to grab Darby, pull him out of the ring. And then he goes underneath the ring, finds a toolbox, and gets a little, something to cut himself free from
That's
that
all you
zip
need.
tie.
Hey, it's, he might be, he's a smart guy, that Ethan Page.
So he cuts himself free. He stops Darby from hitting another coffin drop. And then he picks him up, hits him with the Ego's Edge to get the win. So, hey, maybe they were right. Darby does need Sting. But no, stay away from Darby Sting.
Yeah. Darby Allin will always be this fiery babyface guy who will always cheer for. He's not gonna turn heel in any time soon. But yeah, like you said, like why did this exist? Like to prove that Darby Allin needs Sting?
Yeah,
I thought that feels counterproductive. But you put over Darby Allin as being tough and relentless and resilient, and the other two boys needed a win. Oh.
Yeah, I thought that the zip tie was going to be the equalizer, but then he just got out of it.
Well, yeah, any adult can break apart a zip tie. I'm sure you've tried to break a zip tie. It's pretty easy.
Oh, well, I don't know. I think some police use them as restraints.
Oh yeah, like the police zip ties. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess that was a pretty big one. Yeah. Oh well.
But anyway.
Well.
Next match we get is Orange Cassidy taking on Cesar Bononi. I always want to say Bonini for some reason. I'm pretty sure it's Bononi.
Yeah, I think it's Bononi.
Anyways, he's a pretty big man here, so he's in control, just tossing Cassidy around early on. Tosses him to the floor where he's got his little posse of Peter Avalon and Ryan Nemeth, and they're just no respect. They just start applying hair gel and spray tan onto poor Cassidy, and later on they brush his hair and put this gold jacket on him that says hunk. So that's enough. Best friends come out to get involved and even things up. At one point they just hoist up Orange Cassidy and fucking launch him into the air like we used to do into the pool when you're kids. But he just goes flying over the ropes, hitting all his enemies on the floor. Then he just starts handing out orange punches to everyone. Hits Cesaro with it, gets him the 3 count.
Gets him 3 count. You're talking about Cesaro and the Wingmen. You didn't mention that at all. They this is
that's what they're called.
This is the name of their heel faction. Okay. JD Drake, Ryan Nemeth, Peter Avalon. He's now not pretty Peter Avalon. He's kind of like the leader of the Wingmen.
Bed is gone.
Yeah.
I think when he had that bed.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But it seems like an odd battle because the Wingmen, they certainly know what it's like. They would certainly appreciate friendship. Why they have anything against Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends, I don't know. Like, this is just two groups of friends battling it out. I think this was because I think Peter Avalon said something about Orange Cassidy's not returning his texts. I don't know if you caught that little kind of backstage pre-match, making it happen. But yeah, I like that. I like that Dynamite, because clearly this faction's been working for a little while, and it's been on like probably Dark or Elevation. I love that there's a heel faction on a YouTube show that we've never fucking heard of. but they're coming. They are coming for the main roster.
No, like I didn't even catch the name, the Wingman. I just knew the wrestlers.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out on Raw, or sorry, Dark.
Okay, we go backstage where Jungle Boy is getting interviewed, but Kenny Omega crashes it with his buddies. So Nakazawa hits him in the back with a laptop, but Jungle Boy fights back. So eventually Omega just has to jump on a golf cart to escape. But that title match, that's coming up this Saturday. So
this Saturday, eh? Shit.
I think that'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Great match coming up, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Then there was kind of more backstage stuff where Christian Cage just tries to get a piece of Matt Hardy, but they lock him in some sort of cage.
In a cage. I think it was very hat on a hat. There was nothing more than what you thought it was.
And I was gonna say, I don't think we ever went back to that. I think he was just stuck there.
Yeah, I wonder. I also sort of, I was expecting them to at least kind of maybe touch on it towards the end, but then I'd love if we tune back in on Saturday and his shirt's a little tattered. It looks like he hasn't hasn't showered in a week. Like, he truly has not left that place.
Either way, I think it's all building to that Christian Hardy match that we're.
Well, sure, yeah. If that's gonna, I don't think anyone would really. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Your old fans are new. I don't think there's a single old fan out there who would think that's bullshit. They would tune in to be like, hell, oh wow, okay, let's watch this.
Yeah, exactly. First off, wow.
Wow.
But maybe not so wow. We'll see this next match here. I don't know. We've never seen this one guy before because we're getting the debut of Brock Anderson.
No, you're supposed to say it like Brock Anderson.
The spitting image of his father, Arn.
Yeah, the same kind of like shoulder size, same gut size,
hair,
same
the ring
body
gear.
hair, same.
Yeah, like his boots, his gear was the old school.
I think he had a BA inscribed on his trunks instead of AA.
So he's here. He's teaming with Cody Rhodes to take on QT Marshall and Aaron Solo. So this feud goes on, but I guess Brock Anderson, he's part of the Nightmare family now, and he does pretty good here. He's the one that scores the pinfall for his team with a jackknife cover there.
I think there was a destroyer somewhere in the match too. I think
Cody hit a destroyer.
I think QT did. I think that's part of
it.
I think that's part of his.
Onto Cody.
I think that's part of his arsenal.
I still just don't care that much for QT or any of these guys, really.
Yeah.
I mean, Cody's good. We all know the story with Cody. Brock, but the QT Marshall thing, this whole feud, it just doesn't really matter to me.
No, I don't think anything Cody has really mattered in a while.
Yeah. So then we get a sit-down interview with Jim Ross and Andrade. I forgot to write it down. I just wrote Andrade.
Oh, come on, you're so close. El Diolo.
And it was kind of weird because they put subtitles even when he was speaking English.
Yeah.
I didn't think his English was that poor. Like,
no, sometimes you'll be watching like a documentary or something and they'll do that also. Just like
no, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, like Don Vito, that always puts subtitles in him. But
R.I.P. Shout out to Don Vito.
But no, I mean, this, like, I understood his English, and then he went to Spanish at a few parts.
Yeah, me too.
Anyways, the big selling point was he says that him and Vicky have a surprise. So is that a tiny 4 foot?
Him and Vicky have a surprise.
A Zelina Vega surprise?
I think it's time to crown a brand new Tweet of the Week champion. It's the Tweet of the Week. It's the Tweet of the Week.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Of course, Mike, you caught me right there. Well, I mean, Zelina Vega is a copyrighted name owned under the property of World Wrestling Entertainment and subsidiaries. However, there is a woman who formerly played the woman known as Zelina Vega. Her name is, well, I don't even know how to say it. Is it just like Thea Trinidad? Is that actually her name?
Thea?
Yeah. I think it's Thea,
yeah.
but like Trinidad,
Thea
right? Anyways,
yeah, like
Thea Trinidad.
I mean, I know people named Jordan. That's a country.
That is a country. I'm almost Cameroon. Thea Jordan. Fuck you. Thea Trinidad. She's out there. She hasn't been seen since she was let go as part of one of the releasings, or maybe I think she asked and they just actually kind of granted. Well, Mike, shortly after the interview with El Diolo on Friday night, it was about 11:39 p.m. on Friday night, right before that classic women's match time. Thea Trinidad tweets out, and then the stroking your chin emoji.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay, Thea Trinidad, big first Tweety League championship. Either person. Also, Zelina Vega never won this, but Thea Trinidad has, and who knows? It would be great. It would work instantly. It would fucking work instantly. Like it was, it was too good, and they just stopped it. There's no reason it can't be good again, right?
Exactly. And, if they're not 100% confident in his English, we all know she's a great talker, so just throw her right in the... And she can wrestle, too, so it's perfect. 2 for 1.
Hey, 2 for 1.
Yeah. Some of her possible future opponents here. We got Penelope Ford taking on Julia Hart, who I still haven't looked into it. Is she a part of the Hart family or not? I don't know.
Or part of the Hart family. Oh, and I never questioned that. No. I just commentary just keeps talking about how she's like 19 years old, just like a young kid.
Yeah.
Seems like a weird thing to hone in on, but
she's got spunk though. She's got spunk,
and she's doing this thing with the Varsity Blondes, and they're doing their own thing. So everyone's doing things.
Yeah, she's kind of like a cheerleader, or like dresses like
that. She's not on like the official roster list on AEW.com, but who knows?
But yeah, we'll see. Either way, she looks good here, taking on Penelope Ford, who I'm always happy to see in the ring. Decent match. Hart avoids a big moonsault from Ford, but then Ford avoids this split-legged leg drop from Hart, and then locks her in a cool submission. I don't even know what I called it, but it's just a really cool-looking submission to get the win. The tap out.
Yeah, that was about it. Penelope Ford getting her first match in a long time, but right after the match, coming down that heel ramp, our TNT champion, Miro, appears, citing, of course, the unfairness of the numbers against Ford. He was doing the normal Rusev thing where he always sounds like he's a second away from tripping over his words.
Yeah.
He's a second away. Miro is always 2 words away from losing us. But it's us sitting on that edge which makes you want to listen.
Yeah. And then I think he gets in a fight with the Varsity Blondes after.
Takes them both out.
2 for 1.
Referees had to separate them.
Yeah. But no title match this week. He's been pretty busy, so he deserves an off week.
Yeah, give him an off week.
Yeah. Backstage, Vicky Guerrero tells Britt Baker that her and Rebel are going to have a match against her and Nyla next week.
Now, I did not see this coming. If you were to ask me out of kind of all the kind of backstage AEW people who will not wrestle, I would put Vicky Guerrero and JR probably like on both on that list of somebody who will never be taking a bump or given a bump again. But hey, Sting pulled out that splash, so anything's possible. Anything's possible here in All Elite Wrestling.
She has been in matches, so there's experience. Mm-hmm. She could do something. I mean, even if she doesn't take a bump, she can slap someone in the face. That's for sure.
You can sure, slap it.
Yeah. And it's Rebel. I mean, her and Rebel can sell for Guerrero and not look that bad.
That's a good point.
As long as Baker. Yeah. So, But let's go to this main event here. We got some 6-man tag action. Penta, El Miedo, Frankie Kazarian, and Eddie Kingston taking on Matt Jackson and the Good Brothers. And, Matt Jackson just acting like Shawn Michaels. And throughout the match, he was doing all Shawn Michaels spots. And every week, he's picking different wrestlers. They love it.
Just go through the roster. You know, it's the easiest, best heat you can get.
Yeah. But, typical 6-man, fast-paced action. Isolate one guy. He gets the hot tag. Eventually, Jackson gets triple-teamed. Penta hits the Fear Factor. Kingston hits a backdrop driver. And then Kazarian hits the Angel's Wings. So that looks like it's going to be it. But then Gallows breaks up the pin. Nick Jackson appears with the spray, and he gets Penta in the eyes. And then they hit him with a super neck breaker to get the win.
Yeah, it was a super cutter or whatever the heck.
Yeah, they called it a cutter, but I don't know if he meant to do a cutter, but he ended up doing a neck breaker. Or, I don't know. They called it a cutter. I don't know who fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, though.
I do like Kazarian giving himself the moniker of the Elite Hunter. I don't know if you caught that.
I mean, it seems like, he's definitely... He just keeps coming out and attacking them, and he's kind of doing it on his own. He's just flying solo, but I guess he's aligning with these guys for the common goal of hunting the elite, so why not?
Yeah, it seems like too often on AEW are the heels standing tall to close out shows, and they're already all of the champions. Britt Baker, we're not too sure about, but at least like in the men's side of the competition, they're all the bad guys.
Yeah. But that was the end of what we hope is our final Friday Night Dynamite, at least for a long while here.
I sure hope so. And yeah, I hate the Good Brothers. I've said that before. I have said that before.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get I don't get them. I don't get them.
They're just not that good. Yeah, they were hyped up. I don't know why when they were wrestling in Japan and shit. People, or I guess when they were in the Bullet Club.
No, I mean like whatever they're doing right now, I don't get. There's been times where things that those two guys, Carl Anderson, Gallows, Doc.
I think they're just living off former name and glory. They're like, but they were in the Bullet Club. We're like, yeah, but that was 3 years ago. What had they done?
Yeah, I remember watching this old New Japan with Carl Anderson being very good.
Yeah.
Like against Tanahashi or something like that, right? And you're just like, shit, this guy, like these guys can roll. But
I think he was like one of the Super Junior champions or Cruiser. I don't know. They got a bunch of those junior titles.
Oh yeah,
I think he won one of them.
Well, I think
or maybe he even won the. I don't know. I think he won one of those New Japan titles.
Yeah. No, I think he has. I think he has like their IC title or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think what's the other guy's name? Anderson. Oh no, Gallows. Gallows has held held that IWGP Tag Championship like the second or third most out of any one person.
Damn.
If that makes sense. Guys like with like fucking
total
years and experience and shit. But something they just do. They're not. This version of them is just not selling with me.
Yeah, and I mean they're not even part. I mean, they're not officially part of AEW, so they don't want to give them too much, I guess, but...
Yeah. So, yeah, a bit of a cold way to end the show for me, but, this felt like, the things haven't really felt right here on AEW since the timing and everything is jumping around.
Yeah, the order and the booking and the flow of the show are just thrown off a bit.
It really does. Yeah, no, it really does. So hopefully whenever we can get back to that, curse you, NBA playoffs.
Yeah. Still, though, better than the average Raw.
Better than the average Raw, baby. That's all you can shoot for. Mike, before we get to the second half of our wrestling week, a.k.a. an average Raw, you want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a
quick break. Of course, we're going to come back. We've got some NXT. We've got some Monday Night Raw, and you're not going to want to miss it.
Let's shoot. Yeah, let's shoot. Yeah, let's shoot. Brother, yeah, let's shoot. Yeah, let's shoot. Yeah, let's shoot. Brother, yeah.
Back here with part 2 of the show. The wrestling week keeps moving on, and yeah, man, we said it just in the earlier part. This having AEW on, this thrown around time. It's also kind of thrown around the order of our show, the way we book our show.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place because, we kind of. I mean, we usually like to separate it with NXT and Dynamite on the second half, but when Dynamite's on a Friday, you don't want to put it last when it's like so early. And
and we book the show to the week, and every every SmackDown, we record on Wednesday or Thursday. Every Friday is the start of that week. But of course you got to do the pay-per-view if it's first, and then and next thing you know, we're going back to Saudi, and we have no clue what we're talking about at any time. But it's Monday night, and you know what that means.
Yeah, that's the one thing that never changes.
And it never will. It never will. There will always be, the sun will always rise, and there will always be a Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
Yeah, unless we drastically change our calendar.
We would have to change the Gregorian calendar, and then even so, Vince McMahon would say no.
I was going to say, it's more likely for that to happen than any sort of WWE changing.
Yeah, certainly, because it's our flagship show. And we're coming hot out after Hell in a Cell, which means that Drew McIntyre won't be competing for that ship for the foreseeable future.
Nope.
Well, what else does it mean? It means that we're probably not done with Charlotte and Rhea. What else does it mean? It means
don't spoil
Shayna
it all.
has some explaining to do. So let's get into the rest of the show, because we open with the the Raw or the WWE Champion MVP. Sorry, Lashley, and he's with MVP and all of his strictly female entourage,
His ladies, which they what is the relationship? What's the implication here? Are they groupies? Are they?
No, they're whores.
They're hired escorts.
Yes, like Julia Roberts
Sexual
style
okay.
Pretty Woman. Yeah.
So they're not just like fans, like, oh my god, we want to hang out with you.
No,
they're paid to be there.
Yeah, they're being paid to be there.
Now who's paying them? Is it MVP? Is it Lashley? Is it like a part of a contract?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of contractual agreement.
Because I don't think Lashley should be the one having to go out.
No.
You bring them to him.
MVP shouldn't have to do it to make Lashley look cool. Like Lashley should just be cool.
Yeah.
So maybe nobody's paying them, and these women are here by choice.
Well, either way, they're here. We're all here. They're bragging about beating Drew, and they've got champagne. They're ready to have a toast. But then the New Day come out, and they've got a tray full of actual toast, which they just start throwing in the ring at MVP. Or all of them, really. And I don't think they hit the ladies.
No, I think they scurried off.
Ungentlemanly.
That really would be. And the New Day are, if nothing else, they're gentlemen.
Yeah. But then MVP just says, hey, Kofi, you're proving my point right now. You're not acting like a WWE champ. You're acting like a clown. But then Kofi brings up the fact that he pinned Bobby Lashley last month, which they show the footage. So he wants to challenge Bobby for the title at Money in the Bank. And Lashley, just like that, says, I accept. But you left out the part where Drew McIntyre attacked me to help you win. And then Bobby says, I want a piece of your boy over there tonight, Xavier. And then Xavier says, okay. But guess what? That match is going to be inside Hell in a Cell, which we didn't mention at the top of the show was still hanging above the ring.
It was still hanging, and I was like, okay, suspicious.
It's like, we don't, I leave my Christmas tree up till New Year's Day. But I heard some hot rumors that USA Network was pretty pissed off that Fox was getting a Hell in a Cell match for free on Friday. So maybe this was WWE's make good.
Oh,
like, all right,
really?
we'll give you one too.
Oh, really?
So,
okay, that's funny. That's funny.
But I can almost guarantee this is historic, having your fourth Hell in a Cell match within 3 days.
Within 3 days. That'll certainly never happen ever again.
Well, never say never.
Well, never say never, I know.
But as of right now, yes, that's going to be our main event.
No, can we say there are a few nevers that I think we can say in professional wrestling, right? There has to be like a few.
Within reason.
Yeah. Like
I mean, we can't defy the laws
Moxley's never going back. We can say that, right?
No, I can't. I can't.
Right. Maybe for his Hall of Fame ceremony.
Yeah, I can only say things like the Ultimate Warrior is not coming back.
Okay.
But when it comes to wrestling, pretty much anyone. Maybe not Alberto Del Rio. I don't think he's coming.
Alberto Del Rio. Yeah, he'll never come back. That has to be a wrestling for sure.
That has to be.
That has to be. Please, I hope.
But like anyone that's done something heinous. But no, I think Moxley could. You never know. When Vince is dead and gone.
You never know.
Anyways. But Money in the Bank is around the corner. Even though that Hell in a Cell is still hanging above our heads, they also managed to hang those briefcases. So, hey.
A lot of stuff hanging. A lot of guys rigging. The riggers really had a good time working.
Yeah. And there's a reason for that, because this is the start of the Money in the Bank qualifiers. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have 8 people, 8 men, 8 women, 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown. So the first matchup here, AJ Styles takes on Ricochet. And, with these guys, we just got a nice, fast-paced, high-flying. With these two in the ring, I don't think you could really have a bad match if you wanted to. So, but there was some shenanigans, because AJ's ready to hit the phenomenal forearm when the Viking Raiders come running out, and they attack Omos outside the ring. So he goes charging at them, but they avoid, and he crashes hard through the barricade. And during all this, AJ just pauses to watch, which was a foolish move, because by the time he finally goes for the phenomenal forearm, Ricochet catches him midair with the recoil and gets a 3 count. So huge upset win for Mr. Ricochet to earn his spot.
Congratulations, Mr. Pantsless, or Mr. Pants Ricochet. Dark Pants Ricochet, and that's his name. And, and setting up what will be... I mean, the Viking Raiders were off and on they were on like 3 weeks straight and then off for 2 months. And now they're back.
Now they're back.
And with a vengeance.
And I think I'm the only one that remembers that they're still the number 1 contenders for the tag titles.
Oh, really? Oh, right. Didn't they win? They won something.
Because that was a tag battle royal.
A while ago.
Anyways, Ricochet with the upset. But we know he's fun, he's flippy, so he'll do some cool stuff in the ladder match.
I think he was in last year's. No, last year's was the weird one.
Yeah, last year's was the...
Right, last year was the weird one.
Building, but he's been in... He was in that 5-star one that we always talk about from NXT. But then we go backstage for an interview with Eva Marie and her partner, who we still haven't heard her name. And... well, she goes to say her name, and it looks like she's about to say Piper. But Eva cuts her off and says her name is Dewdrop. And now the evolution must be going. And Piper's mouth was doing what I was doing, just hung open like, what? That shit name? This is Shorty G all over again.
What a weird name.
It just doesn't sound good. Like, it sounds like, I don't know. Dewdrop doesn't sound like a good name.
Bizarre.
Not a good name.
No, it's not.
Piper Niven was a good name, but
that name was fine.
I saw her mouthing Piper though, so I think hopefully they're not forgetting about it and she's gonna fight for her name. But
that'd be fun.
Anyways, in the meantime, she's gonna fight for her spot because we're getting a tag team Money in the Bank qualifier match. Eva Marie and Dewdrop taking on Asuka and Naomi. Winning duo, both are in the spot. So at the start of the match, Eva's in the ring, but she tags Dewdrop in right away, and then she just kind of jumps down on the apron to watch. So it's kind of a 2-on-1. But Dewdrop holds her own, and she's in control. She climbs up to the second rope when Eva decides to tag herself back in. So already, we're in week 2, and these two are already having disagreements. Yeah, heel face. So then Dewdrop, she's fed up. Eva goes to tag out. Dewdrop drops off the apron, leaves Eva hanging, and she gets rolled up and pinned for the 3 count. So just like that, Asuka and Naomi are in the Money in the Bank.
Love seeing Naomi getting a win. I haven't seen it. I never see it anymore.
Yeah, good for her.
Good
but I
for
mean,
her.
this seemed like a bad career move for Doudrop because she just blew a spot. She could have been in the Money in the Bank in like her second match, and she'd rather make Eva mad.
Yeah,
So.
it is very, very weird.
But at the very least, it means, hopefully it means she won't be Eva's lackey for long, and she can just be like, "Fuck you, I'm Piper."
Yeah, I didn't know we needed more. I didn't know we needed to inject life into the women's division. But I guess
Yeah.
these are kind of like the two call ups, which is weird. I thought I don't know. I thought we thought the call ups would kind of be like Io Shirai or someone, right? But then calling someone up from NXT UK, that feels like a real. That's a bold move. I hope that works out.
Yeah, I like her as a performer. I just hope she doesn't get the Mia Yim treatment.
Doudrop.
Change her
Where's
name
Mia
for no
Yim?
reason. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Where-
that was that.
Where's Keith Lee?
That's a whole nother mystery. There's lots of
Damn.
that. We need to get a hold of AC Dirt maybe for that.
Oh,
one.
Jesus Christ! Really? Oh shit. Okay.
Who we haven't heard from. Speaking of, I forgot you existed.
Forgot a person. Yeah, forgot the hottest informant. You know, this side of Meltzer.
But then we get Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville in the middle of the ring to call out Rhea Ripley, and they let her know what she did at Hell in a Cell was unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, getting disqualified like that. But Rhea says, "Come on, I've seen Charlotte break the rules over and over, so I did what she would have done." So Charlotte comes out, she rips into Rhea, and Sonya says, "All right, I'll grant a rematch at Money in the Bank." Another rematch.
We're an hour into the show, and we've booked 2 of the matches on the card, and we already know 2 of the other matches on the card. We've halfway booked the show, and we're less than 24 hours away from the Hell in a Cell ending. We've booked half the show already.
Yeah. And one of them's a rematch. Why couldn't they just do this match tonight instead of making us wait it? If you're going to give Charlotte, I don't know.
No idea. I have no fucking idea. Maybe I think they need the live crowd to figure out who's the babyface.
Yeah, they're like, yeah. Well,
okay, let's put a rematch in front of people. Whoever they cheer for, that's what we'll go with. That's who will win.
Yeah, because like you said, it was kind of weird. We don't know how Rhea's acting. Maybe they don't know either. Like, do we want her heel? Do we want her face? Let's see how the crowd likes her.
Yeah, like a manager never tells a babyface that what they did in a match was unacceptable and they need to be punished. You know?
Yeah.
They actually don't they don't tell the heels that either. I don't know. They don't tell anybody that. Sonya Deville's trying her best. She's trying her best over here.
Well, let's go to the next Money in the Bank qualifier match, because we got the Rand Man, Randy Orton, taking on Mr. Drip himself, Johnny Morrison. And this is the end of an era, a very short era, but the beard is gone for Randy Orton. Yeah. He was back to clean shaven.
It's too bad. Maybe he has a role in a film.
Maybe they're like, hey, we got to lose that.
You need to keep it.
But you had The Miz at ringside. Well, he was on commentary at first, but then he kind of wheeled his way over in his wheelchair to ringside. And he gets involved because Randy's in control, looks to hit that RKO when Miz just pulls out one of the drip sticks and shoots him in the face, which the ref lets that go. I mean, that's not quite a disqualification. It's just a little water there. But it does piss off Randy, and he goes towards the Miz. Morrison rolls him up, the deadly roll-up, but he kicks out at 2. And then Matt Riddle comes scootering down to the ring towards the Miz, who starts wheeling off in his wheelchair. We get a low-speed chase. But all this bullshit on the outside of the ring is just making Randy angry. And Morrison attacks him, hits the Starship Pain, gets the win. Another upset. He's going to Money in the Bank.
John Morrison going to Money in the Bank, huh?
Another high-flyer parkour guy.
High-flyer parkour. Oh, my God. He's going to parkour off so many ladders.
Him and Ricochet are just going to parkour off each other.
They're kind of look like... like Sonic and Tails, just kind of ping, 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 ping. Like two parallel lines going with each other all the time.
Yeah. But up next, we got more Money in the Bank qualifiers. Tag team action here. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler taking on the reunion of Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. But both much different than we originally saw. I mean, Bliss we already know, but she came out with a new entrance theme, which was it's kind of weird. It turned into like a rap song partway through.
Okay, I don't think I paid
catch
enough close enough attention to that. I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that one too.
I mean, her original entrance theme was pretty iconic, so it's too bad that they switched it. But the bigger switch, I'm sure you didn't miss this one, because we cut to Nikki Cross and she just got this whole new look on. She is dressed like a superhero with the cape, the little mask, the Robin style mask,
It was
little
like
butterfly logo.
like a Hurricane Helms.
Yeah, pretty much a Hurricane Helms. A big shift, a big sideways shift for her. But, she's talented. She can make it work. I'll give her a chance. But definitely out of left field. I don't know what to say.
Out of left field. I love it or hate it. We're getting a match.
Yeah. So either way, this is Bliss Cross in a much altered state. But, the match itself was okay. At one point, Bliss hit a code red in the corner. Nikki looking good as well. And of course, we had more hypnotizing as Alexa hypnotizes Reggie and almost makes him slap Nia right in the face.
Almost.
But stops just short. And then back in the ring, Nikki Cross hits a head scissors into an Estrada cradle and gets Baszler down for the 3 count. So Nikki Cross is on a roll here. Hot streak. You can't complain about this win.
You can't.
This was clean.
Over Shayna Baszler, who I'm led to believe is fucking useless and powerless, right? And can't do anything, and is just fucking the dumbest person on the fucking planet. 4 losses in a row, by the way, for Shayna Baszler since losing those championships. While Nikki's sitting on a 6-match win streak.
6-match wins. Well, if she can carry that all the way to Money in the Bank, where her and Alexa are both going to be in the match. I mean, that's
yeah, because Alexa Bliss can't win it, right?
She could. You just don't want her.
Feels like a weird move. I don't know. I don't. Well, okay, maybe the thing is, I don't want. I think it would be weird to have like Lily and Alexa Bliss surrounding like the top prize.
She doesn't have to win it, but I think they're building her up this much because they want her to be champion eventually. Yeah. To spend this much time on her, but. Yeah, whether the Money in the Bank's the right move or not, I don't know. It's going to be in front of a live crowd, so there will.
I guess, yeah, and like we just said regarding Rhea and Charlotte, like there's going to be a lot of shit that if we, as soon as we do go back, the crowd is going to kind of figure out, oh, okay, like what does the crowd actually think about what's going on right now? Because I don't know, it could go either way. Bliss could come out and everyone's just fucking cheering, or everyone's booing, or which one are we supposed to do? She's hypnotizing people. That's something a bad guy does, right?
Most of the time.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, we gotta let the consumer decide.
One thing it reminded me of for a little bit was Austin Powers and the Fembots. When he like gets them going, and then maybe that's the key to.
Yeah, and then
maybe that's how we beat Alexa. Just do like a sexy dance.
Oh yeah, little fembot thing.
Just overload her, and then boom. There you go. Great movie, folks. Watch the
first 3.
Yeah, they're all good.
But
the first one's the best in my. No, but we're at the time in life where you have to tell some people to watch that movie. They weren't around.
Oh, that's a good point. Not everybody remembers 9/11.
Yeah,
right.
I think
there's a whole chunk of people out there who were 6 years old. They don't remember it.
Yeah. But let's go on to the next. I think was every match on this show except for the Cell a qualifier match.
This one also?
Yeah. This next match here, Riddle.
Yeah, it was. You're right.
Yeah. So we got Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Money in the Bank qualifier. Drew, less than 24 hours late after that, you can see his back is still all just beaten and bruised and welted from those kendo sticks.
Yeah.
And Riddle right off the back gives him a nice kick to the back there. And with that bare foot, gets a real good slap
Getting
out
a
of it.
slap on it.
So, they're having a real good match back and forth. In the middle of it all, Randy Orton comes out to watch from the ramp. And then Drew picks up Riddle, hits him with a big Michinoku driver that pulled his trunks halfway down. I don't know if you saw, but there was 3/4 of Riddle's ass.
I saw some
fully
butt.
exposed.
I saw some butt, and like and like I said last week, I pop at every Michinoku driver in the first place, so I was jumping out of my chair.
I was jumping out of my pants like Riddle here. I actually had to pause because I saw something, so I paused it mid-move. 3/4 ass, and I noticed he's got a tattoo on his right butt cheek. I couldn't quite make out what it was.
He couldn't quite make it
It was like
out.
circular. It could have been like the head of an animal or something, but his that was like an uncensored. I don't know if you can show a crack on TV.
How far can you go down? Like, because if you're doing like a classic plumber's butt kind of thing, you can do that. But I wonder, how far down on the cheek can you go?
Anyways, it was funny. He lands. He kind of like pulls his pants up right when he lands, but I had to point that out. But then he gets up. Drew tries to hit him with a Claymore. Riddle counters into the bro mission. Drew gets out of that, hits the Glasgow kiss. He picks Riddle up on his shoulders, but then Riddle punches him in the head and moves forward with a victory roll. And it turns out to give him the victory. He hits a 3 count. So that's a massive win for Riddle.
Huge upset.
Yeah, fucking beating Drew McIntyre. And just like that, he is in the Money in the Bank.
Matt Riddle can work with big guys. He can work with small guys. And Drew McIntyre was clearly coming off these injuries from Hell in a Cell. God, fucking Drew. Rest in peace,
Matt Riddle.
like I said.
Yeah, I mean, Riddle, but still, big opportunity here. Afterwards, he scooters up to Randy. He's like, I did it, bro. He offers him a fist bump, but Randy just crosses his arms, leaves him hanging. So it's like, what's wrong, bro? Talk to me.
What's wrong?
And they got more merch now. They got mugs. They got hats. They got everything.
Oh, they're going to be around for 2 years if they got mugs.
We'll see. But main event time. That Hell in a Cell match we were promised earlier. Bobby Lashley, Xavier Woods. At this point, a little burnt out on the Hell in a Cell. We kind of saw they didn't really do anything.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do anything we hadn't seen the rest of the weekend. Chairs, kendo sticks. I guess the one fresh move was Woods he hits his tightrope elbow drop through a table on Lashley for a big 2 count. But Bobby fights back, throws Xavier headfirst into a chair, hits him with a spear, and then applies the Hurt Lock, forcing Xavier to tap out. And then afterwards, MVP sneaks in, and they both beat him up some more.
Yeah, I think the biggest or like most redeeming thing here was that Xavier Woods had a string of good matches, and he was kind of rewarded with the opportunity to get the Cell match. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been very, very good. He's been putting on some very good singles and tag matches here on a string of terrible Monday Night Raws. And, kick a little back to him. Like, hey, man, you've worked real hard. You get the first Cell match on Raw since in 4 presidents or whatever they kept saying.
Well, yeah, second ever. And, I know you said that they pretty much booked half of Money in the Bank here, but you can also say that everything on Raw was meaningful. Every single match had consequences.
This was the first Raw, and I think because it felt there were more matches, it felt shorter.
Yeah, it was kind of fun just getting these qualifiers. Like bing, bang,
there
boom.
was
6
meaningful matches.
Yeah,
and you're like, wow, implications.
And I mean that should follow up with a pretty good SmackDown because we got to get their side of things sorted out.
Amen.
So,
we'll have to see it.
Overall, not a bad Raw.
Overall, not a bad Monday Night Raw. That was for the first time in a long time. Let's flip across the networks because it's Tuesday night. So let's get into the Black and Gold brand live from the Capitol Wrestling Center. I got it right.
That's right.
We've got some NXT.
NXT. What does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT. Watch and see. Gotta tap out a count out of 1, 2, 3.
Last week, the big news. The news heard around the world. Samoa Joe is our new is William Regal's new enforcer.
Yeah, assistant.
who
to the general manager.
showed us that he's not playing around. I think he choked out Adam Cole last week. So let's see who he's going to choke out this week.
Well, Adam Cole himself comes out to start the show, and he's supposed to pick his opponent this week, but he says, I don't have to listen to Samoa Joe. But then he gets interrupted by Carmelo Hayes, who copies John Cena's debut and just says, ruthless aggression, and slaps him in the face.
Ruthless aggression.
And that leads us into the match. So Carmelo here making his big debut. I think debut. I don't know. Maybe he's been around before.
I didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way, he hangs in there. He puts up a good fight. Gets a couple near falls, but he ends up springboarding right into a big super kick from Cole, followed by the Panama Sunrise, and that gets him the win. It's always nice to see the Sunrise get the win.
I mean, it's a cool looking move, and yeah, because he started going into that combo, into the last shot thing.
Yeah. So, you don't always have to do that.
But yeah, Adam Cole is back, and now he's mad at someone new. It sort of seems like Adam Cole just kind of goes through life getting mad at people and then putting on bangers with them. And I don't know. He's mad at Samoa Joe. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I mean, and Regal said, if you're provoked, you can do something. So maybe he'll be provoked enough into a match. You never know. But Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory come out to cut a promo. Johnny says we need a new face of this brand. Not that angry-looking TikTok doomsday guy, but they get interrupted by Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan instead. And Johnny says, if you want to fight, you're not going to get it from us. He just leaves. But, then Austin points at Dunne and he gets his finger snapped.
I like I like whenever you see a Pete Dunne match. Has he been around fans on NXT?
I think maybe in some of the
I know he's definitely been on a takeover or two, but like in terms of like the weekly shit.
Definitely not.
Not since they've been
term.
weekly. I'm excited for the live audience to get a chance at Pete Dunne on a regular basis. I like when he goes to do that finger crack and then everyone's going like shh, like everyone quiet so you can hear the everyone's like, ah, everyone freaks out.
Yeah. A couple times in between segments, there was this mysterious teaser, just like a battery bar, just kind of charging up, going from 30% to 40%.
There's too many teasers. Every week it's a new teaser.
Well, at least we'll get the resolution on one later.
Oh, hopefully.
One of them.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we got some women's tag action. Io Shirai and her new friend, Zoe Stark, taking on Aaliyah, Jessie Kamea.
Of the Robert Stone brand.
Of the Robert Stone brand, whose stock is very low right now.
Quite low.
Yeah. It was okay. They work over Stark until she gets the hot tag. And Stark hits a big suplex, and then Io hits her over the moonsault. They get the 3 count. But then afterwards, Candice and Indy come out, and then Dakota and Raquel come out, and they surround the ring. But then Shotzi and Ever come out. So everyone in this tag division is here, and everyone starts brawling. So Samoa Joe has to bring out the security, break everything up.
Well, that's why he's there, to keep an eye on that. William Regal's too old to
he's gonna have a heart attack if he does that.
This entire match was in the commercial break, right? I was watching a like no commercials version. Like I wasn't watching live, and I swear the actual match it felt like I don't know. It felt very short.
Yeah, I think you probably missed just Stark getting beaten up, and then you got back in time for the.
Then you came back, and I was like, oh, okay, we're back.
Yeah, that was that. Then we got some men's tag action. The Way taking on Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. So picking up from where they left off earlier. And 2 teams that are trying to rise the ranks for those tag titles here. Mm-hmm. The match was fine. Gargano hits a cool suicide dive into a DDT on Dunne, then jumps back in the ring to hit the one final beat on Lorcan, and that gets him the win. But before they can even celebrate, Karrion Kross comes out and lays Gargano out from behind. So what does this mean? Johnny going for the title?
Johnny going for the title?
Johnny babyface?
No, because the Way can't be babyface. I don't think.
I mean, they could. The New Day started as heels.
That's a good point. Everybody got to start somewhere. Yeah, I was actually going to say I thought that the Johnny Gargano Pete Dunne was
well, yeah, they could
was possibly the.
Oh, you're saying?
Yeah, that was maybe the way to go.
Yeah, no, we can go in that direction. I mean, I'm just Cross coming out and attacking Gargano. It could mean nothing or it could mean something.
Yeah, I really don't know. Keith Lee fucking Karrion Kross seems to be in this weird spot where it's like, yeah, who's actually a legitimate threat? Yeah.
Well, I heard that this past weekend, Karrion Kross and Bronson Reed were on SmackDown and they taped some matches for main event.
No fooling, really?
Which could mean, I don't know. I mean, they're both champions right now.
Literally
but,
the two fucking champions on the fucking brand. Yeah, Bronson Reed wasn't on this show. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, maybe... I don't know. But that's just something to note.
This could be something to keep in mind. You know, there's a chance. I don't know if your champion is on a different fucking show. Who knows?
Who knows who this next person is? Have you ever heard of Elektra Lopez?
I have not heard of Elektra Lopez, but thanks for asking. This was I have a feeling you were going to ask me that or something. This is actually her first NXT event taping.
All right. Yeah, no, I didn't really know who she is either.
Yeah. There's someone from the PC, I guess.
Yeah. She's here for the encore presentation of the world premiere of Frankie Monet, her opponent. So Lopez gets a couple moves in, but Monet takes over and hits a big glam slam to get the victory.
Yeah, just the squash match.
Yeah, still just keeping it simple for her, but hopefully move on to something advanced soon. Mm-hmm. An established opponent. But anyways, haven't really been talking about it, but every week they do these short skits with Everrise. I guess they have like a YouTube show or something.
Oh, do they? I didn't know that.
I don't know. That's why I would never mention it.
Oh, okay. No, yeah.
I don't know. They're trying to get over, I guess, on their own, but they're here tonight to take on Hit Row, who, the members Ashanti, the Adonis, and Top Dollar fighting tonight, and they just kind of dominate. They hit their finisher, which was like a powerbomb neck breaker, but this one looked kind of sketchy. I don't know if the guy was supposed to twist, turn into like a cutter. I don't know. But either way, they get the win. Hit Row, who
are still looking good, nice and strong. Just calling out here, we should check out some of these Everrise videos, because just two Canadian kids.
Yeah, French-Canadian.
Still Canadian, baby.
Still Canadian. I know, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just like Sami and Owens. We love y'all.
Of course.
But yeah, no, I just know that they have some sort of Saturday morning type show.
Some kind of internet
like a
presence.
Talk show or something. Yeah. But let's get to the main event of the evening. This was Kyle O'Reilly. He was allowed to pick his opponent last week, so he selected the established Cruiserweight champion Kushida. But this is not for the title, but we're just getting a good main event here. Just lots of technical submissions. Both guys trying to wear each other down. Kushida hits a nice hammerlock suplex onto the edge of the apron, just busting that arm up. And soon after, he goes for the hoverboard lock, but Kyle O'Reilly counters right into a pinfall and gets a 3 count. So Kyle O'Reilly's your winner. But, Kushida, they show the respect after. They shake hands, but Adam Cole storms the ring. Kyle fights him off. Kyle and Cole fight off to the back, right?
Yeah, those two go away.
Yeah, they fight their way to the back, and then Kushida gets attacked by this group of men, just kind of wearing hoods. And you didn't get a good glance at the guy at first, but who's this? It's Roderick Strong with a shaved head.
With a buzz cut. Roddy with a buzz cut.
Yeah, he shaved his head. He's got a crew with him now. You may recognize Tyler Rust from Thatch Can Academy.
He was a standout at that school.
Yeah, and then Hideki Suzuki, who this is his first appearance, but he's a signing. But this is Diamond Mine, the group this was one of our teasers those last month or two. So yeah, it looks like Roderick Strong is the leader of a new group here.
Yeah, the leader of his own faction. God, we've gone so far from Undisputed Era, haven't we?
Oh yeah, and Malcolm Bivens.
Was the he kind of came out there. He was the manager. He had announced. But yeah, and just like that, another faction to take out. I didn't remember that this match was not for the title.
Oh, so you thought he won it there?
And he gets the pin, and I'm like, it was a oh shit! It was a moment, and then the banner didn't come up, and he didn't say "and new," and I'm like, oh fuck this! I was for whatever reason in my mind it was a title match. I was ready to give Kyle O'Reilly the Wrestler of the Week and all these things, and I don't know. I don't know how I forgot. Because, they're doing the thing where, they just, holds back and forth, and I have no idea what they're called, but they look so smooth when they do them.
Yeah. Well...
Damn, I know, right? So,
no, I mean, it was still... no, I knew ahead of time, but I would have definitely
clearly knew.
popped.
I was watching the show. I would have seen them not announce this for a title, but in my mind, I was like, yeah, of course this is for the title. I don't know why. I was, it was a lot of emotions going on there. And then Roderick Strong showed up. A lot of emotions towards the end of NXT.
I was going to say, there's no reason that Kyle can't get in the mix for this title, because afterwards... Malcolm Bivens hands the title over to Roddy, so it looks like he wants to get. All of a sudden, this cruiserweight title is looking like a hot commodity.
I mean,
main eventing shows
as it should be. I mean,
literally
all the good ones down here in NXT are all cruiserweights. So let them fucking go for it.
Yeah, pretty much everyone except for Karrion Kross is under 205.
Yeah, exactly. The only guy, your heavyweight champion is the heavyweight. But
and Bronson, who is your other champion.
Exactly.
So there's your two.
I'm sure Johnny Gargano is fucking.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they all are the approximate size of Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
These guys are like 195 max.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh well. Jeez,
but yeah, that was a pretty hot ending to the show. Definitely unexpected.
Yeah.
The return of Roderick Strong.
It was.
So it looks like, I mean, Bobby Fish came back as well, but he's kind of lost in the shuffle. But no one got called up. They all just stayed.
Which I guess is best case scenario, is that nobody leaves.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, yeah.
Because that's the thing. When they broke up, we were most scared because they would only succeed on the main roster as a team. If just one goes up, unless it's Adam Cole. Yeah, but, especially somebody like Roddy, if just Roddy goes up.
Yeah, especially because he wouldn't have the built-in of people knowing him, and, they wouldn't care as much.
Exactly, all that kind of crap.
But, yes, that was it.
No, that was it. That was the entire wrestling week, I believe.
Yeah, just about.
Lord, just about. That was a great show. We have time for one more thing, though. It is, of course, the wrestler of the week.
It's the wrestler of the week. Wrestler of the week. Of the week. Of the week. The wrestler of the week. Of the week. Of the week. Wrestler of the week. Of the week. Of the week. The wrestler of the week.
I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. We already have a theme song for it.
That's okay.
I don't know why I did that, but...
Which is a sound effect.
I guess it was a little like, when we have the soundboard and we go like, oh, yeah. I always wanted a soundboard that has an oh, yeah on it.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm going to flip it over to you. Who's your champion this week?
Well, we had a couple good contenders here. Some good matches. Surprisingly, Raw had a few good matches, but no, I'll stick with the Hell in a Cell. This match, we didn't even know it was going to be in the cell, but these two women worked hard, and she retained her belt. I'll give it to Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair. Congratulations. Yeah, like we said, the biggest I didn't give a shit to now you're winning the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, I've got a wrestler of the week for you. This is a big one for me because, of course, God, sometimes it's the things that you do outside of the ring, which really define you as a performer. Right, whatever we're watching on the screen, there's a element of performance, and it's the actions that you take that will truly set you apart from the rest, right? And be immortalized not only in professional wrestling but in Shoot Brothers Wrestling of the Wrestler of the Week, in the books forever. This one I gotta give to referee Jason Aris. Who called that?
Please remind.
What match do you think he called? I'll tell you which one he called. He called that Charlotte Flair Rhea Ripley match at Hell in a Cell. This is not the first time a referee has won the Wrestler of the Week award. Anytime you do something as an officiant, if it's par for the course, I'm gonna notice. And I gotta give this man the respect he deserves for calling whatever the hell he called. Is it a DQ? Is it a botch? Did they run out of time? Or is it every single one of those things put together? I don't know. But you stood out there and you did the one thing that nobody wanted you to do. And for that, you're the Wrestler of the Week.
Now, I have to ask, 'cause I remember you gave out the referee award of the year, the Shooty,
yes,
for referee of the year,
yes,
for a similar type reason.
Eddie Orango, who called it was a DQ in an Asuka-ish match that just didn't make any sense. Like, she didn't do anything, and then I can't quite remember what happened. But yeah, it's out there. Check it out. It's out there.
Yeah. Something happened.
Yeah, something happened.
Yes, I just wanted to let all the referees out there listening know that there's some precedent where if you make a judgment call, if you make a call on the fly, if you got the balls, do it. You might just be Wrestler of the Week.
You might just be Wrestler of the Week, baby. And isn't that's the highest honor you can receive as an official in professional wrestling. That was it. That's all the time we have for the show. Thanks for listening, folks. Rate, review, like, subscribe. The show is everywhere. We big show next week. Remember, we got that Kenny Omega Jungle Boy match where we'll have more fucking Money in the Bank matches because half the show is booked, but we got to book the.
We got a Great American Bash coming up.
We got the Bash coming up and a bunch of exciting things as we make our way back towards live fans. And that's all I got.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot summer, folks.
It's going to be a hot summer, baby. Okay, Mike, you take care of yourself.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Shoot.